Yes. So for that sentence to make meaning, we needed the object, which is the antelope. Okay. Continue.
Yes. Then we look at intransitive verbs, which say that and we say that intransitive verbs are verbs which do not require a direct object to carry meaning. Then, for example, we have Peter died, my dog ran.
Okay. So those actions on their own make meaning. All those sentences make meaning without even adding an object. Most times the object is obvious and therefore we do not need to include the object. Thank you so much. That was transitive and intransitive verbs. Next week, I will take you through parts of speech. I'll remind us parts of speech before we start looking at other things that are related to parts of speech. So thank you so much. Miss Ghana, I've seen your chat. Thank you. That it has been mentioned. We looked at transitive and intransitive verbs. Thank you so much. Okay, I don't need to remind you of how this program is sponsored by Edify and other partners. So let us always be thankful to this. Many students are paying, other schools are paying as much as 200,000 every month. Others are paying 150, others 120 every month to study. But for you, by the grace of God, you have so far studied 2 months without a single penny being asked from you. So be grateful and be thankful to Edify and the team for all that they are doing for you. That's what I can say for now. Maureen, I don't have to remind you that we don't require videos to be on. So please stop disrupting the lesson and mute yourself. Mr. To, help me mute that girl. I've tried to mute her. She's a problem. Or put her in the waiting room. Okay. Thank you. So as I was saying, these lessons are made possible by Edify and all its partners. There are so many partners involved. Harrison, yes, I've seen transitive verbs which require direct, and then the other ones do not. Okay, thank you. Okay, Christian school owners, all these are partners that are helping us to make this learning possible. So let us always enjoy and learn. You never know when we are returning to school. They said next year, January, but next year was not specified. So let us take this opportunity and learn as we utilize each day to learn. Today we are going to look at the passage, A Quarrel Among Pirates. I have already shared that work in our Google Classroom. So let us, for those who have already read, thank you. Those who are just going to read, you're also welcome. Those who are joining for the first time, I'm Teacher Lurry. And I think that is the basic I can bring out for the beginning. Now let me go to the passage where I will ask someone to read for us. You will put up your hand and then I will pick on you to read for us a passage. Can you see my screen? Those who can see my screen, you let me know.
No.
Not yet?
Yes.
Not yet.
It's
Yes, we are seeing it.
what are you seeing on the screen?
Yes.
Selecting a quarrel among the pirates.
A quarrel among the pirates.
Okay, you're seeing the passage now?
Yes.
Okay.
No. So we're not seeing the passage.
Teacher, I'm not seeing the passage.
It is
We're
all,
just seeing
it's all right. Be
previous-
patient. It's usually network. It is usually network, so you be patient. Others are already seeing. Those whose microphones are unmuted, please, could you do us a service and mute? There's a lot of feedback. Some of you are from very noisy backgrounds, so please.
We're not seeing it. We're not seeing
Okay,
it.
I'm sure all of you now can. All of you can now see my screen. I have got that alert. Miss Ghana, can you now see my screen? You can type yes or no, because now I've gotten an alert that we can all see my screen. Fatina, can you see my screen now? Yes, Fatina?
Teacher Lurry,
Yes?
I think you go and share a window that is having that work. We are just seeing the folder where your work is. So go and share the windows.
Okay. Okay. You let me know now. Mr. Toy, is
You
that
know,
okay
we
now?
can see. We can see.
Okay. All right.
Maybe you can make a slideshow mode so that it is bigger. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, yes, now. Okay. All right. Good. So someone to read for us. I will pick on Atino Ashley. Yes, Atino.
Okay. Good morning, teacher.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay. A quarrel among pirates. There was a sudden growl from the pirates. One of them drew a knife, and I thought my last hour had come. Silver, however, held the others off, thought they stood up to him till he shouted them down. If any of you want to fight with me, he cried, you know the way. Let that bears take the cutlass, and I will see the color of his inside. I like that boy. He's more of a man than any two of you rolled into one. The next thing was that the men went outside to discuss it among themselves. The moment they were gone, Silver came close and whispered to me, "They are going to dispose me, Jim. But I'll stand by you through thick and thin. Your hair breadth from death, but we'll stand together, says I. I will save your life if I can, and you save Long John Silver from hanging if you get the chance." In another minute, the men returned, and one of them slipped something into Silver's hand. "The black spot," said Silver. "I thought so. You're finished with me. Have shaken the other one." Have you? Well, I'm still your captain till you speak your complaints and I reply. You've ruined everything on this voyage, said a man named George, and now there is this boy. So I have ruined everything. So I've ruined everything. Have I? Cried Silver. You all know what check and see others. Okay. You wanted, and if been abroad, would be aboard the Hispaniola this night, and with the treasure too, by thunder. As for the boy, ain't he a hostage? Kill him. Not me, mate. And didn't I make a bargain for you? Ain't the doctor coming to see you every day? And didn't I get this from him? And as he spoke, he threw down the real chart that I had got from Billy Bond at their feet. They leaped upon it like cats upon a mouse. Now said Silver, they leaped upon it like cats upon a mouse. Now said Silver, you've lost the ship. I've found the treasure. Who's the better man? And now I resign by thunder. Choose what captain you like. Silver, they cried. Silver for captain. That was the end of the night's argument.
Okay, do you realize you're not paying attention to the punctuation marks? You are bypassing them so fast. So let us pay attention to the punctuation marks.
Okay, teacher.
And then those who are in the chat, let us try to focus on what is here. Can I have someone read and pay attention to the punctuation marks as well? Thank you so much for sharing. Someone now.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. And someone who's going to also pay attention to the punctuation marks. Where there is a comma, I want to hear you pause. If it's a question, let it be a question. Not people who are don't just read through to finish. Punctuation marks enable you so much to give tone to this passage and to capture the emotions. If Silver is scared, we want to see it. If he's determined, we want to see it, not just to read through. So I want that kind of thing. Damba. I think I've never picked on this name. Damba.
Teacher, where should I start from?
What have I displayed?
There was a sudden growl from the pirates.
Begin from the title.
A quarrel among pirates. There was a sudden growl from the pirates. One of them drew a knife, and I thought my last hour had come. Silver, however, held the others off, though they stood up to him till he shouted them down. If any of you want to fight with me, he cried, you know the way. Let him that dares take a cutlass, and I'll see the color of his inside. I like that boy. He's more of a man than any two of you rolled into one. The next thing was that the men went outside to discuss it among themselves. The moment they were gone, Silver came close and whispered to me, they're going to depose me, Jim, but I'll stand by you, through thick and thin. You're a hair's breadth from death, but we'll stand together, says I. I'll save your life if I can, and you save Long John Silver from hanging if you get the chance. In another minute, the men returned, and one of them slipped something into Silver's hand. The black spot, said Silver. I thought so. You've finished with me, Have you? Well, I'm still your captain, till you speak your complaints, and I will reply. You've ruined everything on this voyage, said a man named George, and now there's this boat. So I've ruined everything, have I? Cried Silver. You all know what I wanted, and if that had been done, we'd have been aboard the Hispaniola. We'd have been aboard the Hispaniola this night, and the treasure too, by thunder. As for the boy, ain't he a hostage? Kill him, not me, mate. And didn't I make a bargain for you? Ain't the doctor coming to see you every day? And didn't I get this from him? And as he spoke, he threw down the cat, the real cat that I had got from Billy Bones at their feet. They leaped upon it like cats upon a mouse. Now, said Silver, you lost the ship. I've found the treasure. Who's the better man? And now I resign by thunder. Choose what captain you like. Silver, they cried. Silver for captain. That was the end of the night's argument.
Thank you so much. That was a very good reading. You have paid attention to the punctuation marks. That is how you can give us the mood of the atmosphere in this passage. Otherwise, if you miss out that, then you'll be missing out on some of the meanings of words. So always when you're reading, pay attention to the punctuation marks. They are your guide almost to understanding the mood in the passage. If you get to know that people who are quarreling and those who are in a romantic kind of environment and those who are discussing, there is a difference. So punctuation marks enable us to know that. When he says, now I resign by thunder, you really see there is emotion there. Punctuation marks. Which punctuation marks do you know and what is their purpose? Every punctuation mark. But the common ones here are question marks, exclamations. I see quotations here. So all those are supposed to represent something. And while you are reading, make sure you pay attention to them. So thank you so much to the last reader. You have really helped us and we understand. At least now we have a close understanding. So let us now, before we look at the questions, what is happening in this passage on your own? What is that has stood out? Who are those main characters that have given you an ear or an eyesight or an insight rather to this passage? So what is happening? Angela's run away. Mwesigwa Holly. Mwesigwa. Yes, Mwesigwa.
Yes, please, teacher.
What is happening in this passage?
People are trying to get a new captain.
People are trying to get a new captain. Why are they trying to get a new captain?
Because one treats them bad.
Really?
I think.
You think, okay, thank you for your try. That is welcome. At least there's an element there. Next person who can tell us what is happening here. I see Stella's hand is up. Stella, what is happening in this passage?
It seems that the voyage had failed. The voyage of the pirates had failed, and they blamed it upon Jim, and yet their captain Silver was supporting Jim, so they wanted him to resign so they would choose a new captain who could lead them to find the voyage better.
Okay, there is a disagreement between them in their what is a voyage? You might be taking it for granted that everyone knows what a voyage is. What is a voyage, Stella?
A voyage, it's like a journey to find something important that people like. A voyage on the sea. I'm not sure if it's also on the land.
But you know that it's a journey.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. We shall take that. Let me pick on another person who has understood anything apart from what those people have seen. Ruth. Ruth, what is happening in this passage?
Teacher, I just want to explain the meaning of a voyage.
Please.
It's a long journey involving travel by sea or in space.
Okay, or in space. Those spaceships usually you hear of NASA and everything. Okay, thank you. So she has given us at least what a voyage is. So these people are on a long journey, and we know that we don't just make any journey. We usually do so with a purpose. So there is a disagreement between these people, and they seem to want to choose a new captain. At least now we have an idea. So each time you're reading, ask yourself those best questions. What is happening in this passage? Who is involved? Who is the main character? What is he saying? What is he doing? Every passage, every piece of writing has something major in it. If it was literature, I would call it a main theme. If it is English, we call it a topic or a subject. Or in literature, there's another thing we call a conflict, not necessarily conflict of fighting, but there is always a main cause of something, a conflict. There's always something to be solved. So right here also there is that kind of scenario. So as we read passages, I want to remind you that passages, the reason they are set, or the reason we always bring them as part of our discussion, others might wonder, why do you keep bringing passages? Passages, first of all, help us in our reading culture. Most of us have a very poor reading culture. Those who are entering, I think, Makerere, some of those who are starting actually, some of the questions that were brought for the students who are joining law was about the reading culture. That in Uganda, we have a very poor reading culture, or generally in Africa, or among the Blacks. And they were asking, what are the disadvantages of this? And now most of us, whenever we want anything, we go to YouTube, we just listen. Very few of us now even have the audio Bibles. Even when you have a novel, you can listen to it on your phone, you just download the app. So, but we have killed the reading culture. So these passages help to put out our reading culture. Once we develop our reading culture, it means we're also going to develop our vocabulary. Today, we shall be learning some of the new words. I'm very sure among us here, there was someone who did not know the word voyage. Another word that I have seen common here is cutlass. So those are some of the words. So when you read, you are able to develop your grammar, improve on your grammar through learning new vocabulary. Okay, Maureen says there is a misunderstanding among the pirates. That is true, though she has not spelled pirates well. Okay, that is true. Pirates is P-I, not P-A-R-I. So that's what we are saying. So it's not just for the sake that we are here. Someone says, teacher, pardon the meaning of the word voyage. We said voyage is a long journey, either made by ship. So we have sometimes the common ones are on water. You can take a look when someone travels maybe from North America and they come up to Africa on water. You know, those very long journeys people make by ship. That's what we call a voyage. So it is not for the sake of passing time or for the sake of learning, but we are here to improve your grammar. So you pick a word and ask, what does it mean by depose? What does it mean by cutlass? So tomorrow, even in your speech, when you're giving a speech, you're able to use some of these terminologies. And also to know the difference, there are some synonyms. So passages are rich in that area. Apart from just answering questions, you must learn something extra vocabulary-wise in terms of your grammar. The only way, and most of you don't like reading. However, almost 3/4 of your English exams are passages. Paper 2 when you go to senior 3, which you are starting very soon. So you need to know, number 1, you must read the passage. Number 2, you have a passage. Number 3, number 2B, you have a passage. Both 1 and 2 are passages. We have them. So you must develop the reading culture early enough so that you're not agitated, so that you're not irritated by these passages. For those who are not very good at reading, these passages help to develop your reading culture. Okay, after giving those highlights, I would like us to go now to the question and answer aspect of it. What are those things? What is the first question that we have here? And then we handle them one at a time. Let me see, who do we have there? Now, there are people I want to pick, but their names are either impossible to read or just not their names. Now, when you call yourself OBJ Prods, I don't know what that means. Until you change your name, I will assume you're not a student in this class. So please rename yourself. By the time you call yourself OBJ Prods, you can change your name. So please change your name to something that you are. Logose, Joanita.
Silver was the captain.
Then you're going to read for us all the questions.
Okay.
Number 1.
What was Silver's position among the others? What did Silver say he would do if anyone disobeyed him? What bargain did Silver want to make with Jim? Number 4. The men gave Silver the black spot. What did this mean? Who or what do you think is the Hispaniola? Choose 2 of these adjectives to describe how the men felt when Silver threw down the chart. Surprised, disappointed, pleased, afraid, and happy. How did Silver say he had obtained the chart? Who won the night's argument in that way?
Okay. So this is what we are going to handle today. These are the questions. So we shall understand the question. Then we use how, for example, you have told us that Silver is the captain. How do you know that Silver is the captain?
I know from the last statement that says Silver for captain.
Okay. So what is happening in this last paragraph for them to shout Silver for captain?
They're voting.
They're voting?
Okay.
Not
sure.
But it's right there. Now said Silver, you lost the ship. I have found the treasure. Who is the better man? And now I resign by thunder. Choose what captain you like. Silver, they cried, Silver, they cried. So what is Silver threatening to do?
To resign.
Yes, so officially he is their captain, and when he threatens to resign, everyone shouts that Silver for captain. So that's when we get to know that Silver all along has been their captain. Thank you so much. Next question by another person. Thank you. You can mute. Then we go to the next person. Let me see here. Josh. Josh has run away. Moisigwa Holly. Number 2. Yes, number 2, we are saying, what did Silver say he would do if anyone disobeyed him? Number 2, students, by show of hands, what did Silver say he would do if anyone disobeyed him? Logo says back, no, that one. Josh is, yes, Josh. Yes, Josh.
Yes.
What is the answer for number 2?
For me, I didn't understand well the story.
You didn't understand the what?
I didn't understand well the story.
But we at what time did you log in? Beg your
I
pardon?
logged in at 26 minutes.
But we at least we did 2 readings. Did you miss any reading?
Yes.
So that is the reason you should always log in time. We cannot go back now and reread everything. However, on your own, if you're in the Google Classroom, you can simply play it back even when you're still listening to the lesson. You can go and read the passage from the Google Classroom. It is advisable. That's why we give you the timetable. You log in early.
Okay.
You must always log in early so that you don't come and disturb people so much by not knowing where we are. People log in 30 minutes later. Cravens? Josh, please mute.
Silver said that he would resign if anyone disobeyed him.
Okay, where do you see that? Any person who has another view of what Silver threatened to do? Any person, any other person? What did Silver threaten to do if anyone disobeyed him? You show us that part so that we can go through it. Joan, Kiara, what did Silver threaten to do? Yes, Kiara. Seems your network is a problem. Logose?
Silver threatened to kill anyone who ruined it.
Silver threatened to kill anyone who disobeyed him. Okay, thank you. Any other person? Yes.
Silver threatened that who dare fights him will take a cutlass.
Are you sure? What is a cutlass? What's a cutlass?
I don't know.
Then how are you giving it as an answer before you get to know what it is? Okay, thank you so much. You can mute so that we go to another person. Sharina. Suraina. Yes, Suraina.
I'm saying the definition of a
Yeah.
cutlass.
Yes.
A short sword with a curved blade and a
Uh-huh.
convex edge.
Yes. So what does this say for anyone who disobeys him? I think someone gave us the answer. Of course, those who disobey him and pick up the knife, he will threaten to kill them. So that's why he said that I will see the inside of your, I will see is it the inside of your body, something like that. So thank you so much. Let us go to the next question. Number 3. Yes, that is true. We can see that. A cutlass is a short sword with a slight curved blade. All right. Number 3. What bargain did Silver want to make with Jim? We already know who Silver is. Who is Jim? What bargain did Silver want to make with Jim? Yes, students. What bargain did Silver? What is a bargain? What is a bargain by show of hands? For those who do not put up their hand, some of them like to share their answers in the chat, so it is welcome. It is very okay. Aha, Miss Ghana has told us that a bargain is a negotiation. Now there are people whose names really you wonder. Can you have normal names? Please use your actual names. Don't be afraid of your traditional names.
Again, it's like let's say I have like I want to buy what a shoe, but the amount is like 40,000. I need to have 20, so I will keep on begging the person, telling that person that for me I have this amount of money until that person accepts 20,000.
But begging is another word. To beg usually it's for free. Those are people who want to be given things for free.
Yes.
Okay, here it is like someone has said a negotiation. You negotiate, you say, I have this as opposed to this. So a negotiation can go hand in hand. Fatuma? Fatuma?
An agreement between two parties concerning the sale of the property.
Okay, you can also negotiate or you can agree on something. Yes, so Jim. So who is Jim? Thank you for all those that have given us the meaning of the word bargain. Now me, I'm talking about in this sentence, they're telling us that there was an agreement, or rather a bargain that Silver was making. What was that agreement? What was that bargain? What was that negotiation? That is what we are now talking about. On number 3 is the answer I'm looking for. What did Silver say he would do? No, sorry. What bargain did Silver want to make with Jim? That is now what I want to find out. What was that? What did he bargain with Jim? You take us to that part of the passage, then after giving your answer, you can do any of those. You can simply give us the answer, then we look for it from the passage. Yes, class. What bargain did what did Silver make with Jim? When you look at your passage, what was the bargain? Okay, it's around here. So for those who can be able to see, it is around there. Yes, what was that bargain? Yes, Shina?
Silver and Jim bargained to stand by each other through thick and thin.
That is the answer is right. However, the way you started it is faulty. Why? The question says, what deal or what bargain did Silver make with Jim? What bargain did he make with him? Stella?
Silver made a bargain on his life and put it as he put it in the hands of Jim.
Okay, though not very clear. I want us to read this paragraph. The next thing that we're looking at the second paragraph of what I'm displaying. The next thing was that, let me be able to direct those who are. I hope you're seeing here, around here, this is where we are starting to read, around here. The next thing was that the men went outside to discuss it among themselves. The moment they were gone, Silver came close and whispered to me, "They are going to depose me, Jim, but I'll stand by you through thick and thin. You are a hair's breadth from death, but will stand together, says I." So yes, we can say that Silver bargained to stand by Jim through thick and thin, or he bargained for them to stand by each other through thick and thin, or to defend one another. That's what he says, because he continues and says that I will save your life if I can, and you save mine, that is now Silver, and you save Long John Silver from hanging if he gets the chance. So the bargain is for each of them to stand by one another, or stand for themselves in order to survive these people who had already gone to bargain to kill them. So that's what he says. They're bargaining to save one another or to stand by one another. That is what we can say. Thank you so much for those who have shared. I will go now to the next question. The man gave Silver the black spot. What did this mean? The man gave Silver the black spot. What did this mean? The man gave Silver the black spot. What did this mean? So what did the black spot here mean? The man gave Silver a black spot. What did this mean? Yes, class. I've seen numbers have gone high and yet we are silent. That means some of you were not here when we started. Who can read for us very fast through the passage again? Very fast, within like 2 minutes. It's a very short passage so that we are at par. Sharina, read through the passage very fast for those who have just joined and quietly here.
A quarrel among pirates. There was a sudden roar from the pirates. One of them drew a knife, and I thought my last hour had come. And I ate cake. Silver, however, held the others off, though they stood up to him till he shouted them down. "If any of you want to fight with me," he cried, "you know the way. Let him that dares take a cutlass, and I'll see the color of his inside. I like that boy. He's more of a man than any two of you rolled into one." The next thing was that the men went outside to discuss it among themselves. The moment they were gone, Silver came close and whispered to me, "They're going to dispose me, Jim, but I'll stand by you through thick and thin. You're a hair bread from death, but we'll stand together," says I. "I'll save your life if I can, and you save Long John Silver from hanging if you can get the chance." In another minute, the men returned, and one of them slipped something into Silver's hand. "The black spot," said Silver. "I thought so. You've finished with me. Have you? Well, I'm still your captain till you speak your complaints and I reply. You've ruined everything on this voyage," said a man named George. "And now there's this boy. So I've ruined everything, have I?" cried Silver. "You all know what I wanted, and if that had been done, we'd have been abroad there, Hispaniola, this night, and with the treasure too. By
Is it her network? Would have been aboard the Hispaniola this night and with the treasure too, by thunder. As for the boy, ain't he a hostage? Kill him? Not me, mates. And didn't I make a bargain for you? Ain't the doctor coming to see you every day? And didn't I get this from him? And as he spoke, he threw down the chart, the real chart that I had got from Billy Bones. At their feet, they leaped upon it like cats upon a mouse. "Now," said Silver, "you lost the ship. I have found the treasure. Who is the better man? And now I resign by thunder. Choose what captain you like." "Silver," they cried, "Silver for captain." That was the end of the night's argument. For those who have just joined us, we are looking at this passage and we are answering the questions below. And for now, we are on number 4. The men gave Silver the black spot. What did this mean? It meant a dress. I don't think it meant a dress. Yes? What did this mean, Ruth? Ruth? Seems Ruth's network is a problem. Rangel? What did the black spot mean? Yes?
What was the question? You read.
The question is there, number 4. The man gave Silver the black spot. What did this mean? Because after giving him the black spot, Silver says, "So you are done with me."
I think it means that Silver gave the black spot to what? I think Silver gave the black spot because he had already finished.
What does Silver mean here when he says under here? so you are finished with me. What does silver mean? And then the man goes ahead and complains, well, the man says, you've ruined everything on this voyage, said the man named George. And now there is this boy. What do they mean here? What is this paragraph here all about? This is where the answer is. This is where we can get our answer. Interpretation, that is what we call comprehension. To comprehend, that's where the answer is.
Okay, he said that Silver had already finished his long journey.
Okay, thank you for the try. Let me pick Rahma.
The black spot meant that they wanted Silver to resign from the position of the captain.
Thank you so much. That is the answer I was looking for, exactly that. They wanted him to resign. Remember, when he goes out, when they go out to discuss, Silver tells Jim that these people are going to dispose me. However, we shall stand by ourselves, or I will stand by you if you promise to stand by me as well. So at this point, when they come back, they do not want anything to do with Silver. So Silver is given a black spot, which meant the end of his captainship. That's why he says, so you have finished with me, have you? Well, I'm still your captain till you speak your complaints and I will reply. So that is what that one meant, that the black spot meant the end of Silver's captainship. Yes, they didn't want Desire, that is true. They didn't want him as a captain, or they voted him out. You'd say it almost serves as a red card. So they fired him as the captain. They no longer wanted him as a captain. Shamim, that is a very good answer. Thank you so much. Let us go to the next question very fast. Let us go to the next question very fast. Who or what do you think is the Hispaniola? Who or what do you think is the Hispaniola? Karen? Yes, Karen, your network a little bit is breaking.
A Hispaniola Caribbean that is Hispaniola Caribbean that is part of the Greater Antilles.
That is, thank you for your try. Let us hear someone else. Damba. I hope I'm pronouncing your name well.
I think the Hispaniola is the ship they had to be aboard on.
Yes. Hispaniola is the ship. Some people did not understand. Others were reading this word as abroad. That is what I told you, that whenever you misspell or misread a word, you're bound to go to another. You're bound to go to another meaning for it. The word is here. We are told that we would be aboard by now. That is the word. You all know what I wanted. And if that had been done, we would have been aboard the Hispaniola this night, and with the treasure too, by thunder. So what does it mean here? What is he trying to explain to them at this point when he says would have been aboard? And what is to be aboard? It seems some people were not. Miss Ghana says, I think it is the place they were going to. No, Miss Ghana, that's not true. What is the meaning of the word aboard? The meaning of the word aboard is what is confusing people. Karen?
I think aboard is like to board something.
Aboard means to board. What is to board something in short?
Like, for example, I'm going to board a bus to this place. That's what I think.
To be aboard something means you are on it. It means you are already in the ship or on the ship, wherever you are. If it is inside or outside, whatever it is, but you are now on the journey, in short. So you are already on the ship. So here it says would be now in the Española. In or on. Are we together? So that's what would mean here. So the meaning of aboard, others were reading it as abroad. That's why now you're not getting the meaning. So here it means to be on the ship. Now they would have already been on the journey to the next place they would have wanted, plus the treasure. So that one, that's what it means. Okay, time is eaten away. I like passages because at least they give us chance to be able to share the meanings, to learn new vocabulary, which most of us are now. So whenever we do these passages, pick the words you don't know, write them somewhere and their meaning and how they are used. You look them up in the dictionary. That's what I will encourage all of us to be doing each time. The rest of this work, I'm going to transfer. I have handed these passages material, but I have questions separate. I'm going to give them as assignment. So I'm going to upload it right now as we speak. So after this lesson, you go straight and complete the assignment, and then you will hand in immediately. Otherwise, that was our lesson for today. Thank you for attending, and may God bless you all. Mr. Otto? Mr. Otto?
Yes, please.